Hi guys, Brooke here today for Legal Talk Tuesday. And if you've been following us, you know that every week we have a specific topic that we cover on Legal Talk Tuesday that's important to you, whether that's some kind of legal direction or something we think that may be able to benefit you. Today is our Well-Being Tuesday. So we like to take a week out of every month on Legal Talk Tuesday and come to you and kind of talk about well-being because it's really at the center of everything that we do. And whether you are an individual going through something, that needs some legal attention, or you are a business owner and you're trying to manage all that, well-being kind of hits every aspect of our lives. And so one thing I wanted to talk about today is something that personally I have struggled with over time, and that is discerning trauma versus intuition. And so I've been trying really hard to be intentional about really pursuing what's for me and what's not. And you really have to rely on your intuition, and everyone has intuition. Sometimes we don't listen to it, but when we are making personal decisions, when we are especially when a lot of times people come to us and there are exciting things we get to help with, new businesses, we get to, you know, do fun things like that. But there are also a lot of really hard things that people bring to us in our law firm for us to help with, like divorce, child issues, also estate planning. Estate planning is hard for a lot of people because people don't really want to think of, death, or have to really spend time planning for that, even though it's really, really important. And so it's very important in the work that we do, and even in working with you, that you recognize some of these things. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about the differences between trauma and intuition to help you recognize how you are making your decisions, and that way you can make more informed decisions about your legal needs, about your personal situation. Uh, Trauma, some examples of trauma, it can be anything from a hostile work environment, a toxic relationship, a stressful experience or situation, which all of us at one point or another, if we're not experiencing one of or more of those things right now, we have experienced some of that. So those are trauma. When I'm saying trauma, there are things that may be triggering for you, that may be uncomfortable for you, that may kind of blur your ability to think clearly or make decisions. When I'm talking about intuition, I'm talking about it's kind of the feeling, the knowledge, the knowing. It's what's for you, what you need to do, how you need to navigate a situation. And oftentimes, trauma really kind of browns out that little intuitive voice in our head, and we tend to react in situations to that fear, to that stress, to whatever that trauma is. And when we do that, we're essentially shutting down our intuition, and it's blurring the line, and it makes us feel like, they're one and the same. We can't discern the difference between the two. And so then we're kind of confused about how we should proceed. Am I worrying about something because something that happened, or should I be worried about this? It's really helping you figure out how to process when you can identify whether it's trauma or intuition. It's helping you process that. It's helping you figure out what bucket to put that in, because you're going to approach trauma differently than you would approach intuition. If you're, acting based on trauma, acting from trauma, then, you're going to want to be very mindful of that. And you're going to want to make sure that the decisions that you're making are well thought through. They're best for you, not, reactionary in the moment, but long term. If you're acting from tuition, then it's a little bit easier to leave some of those worries, to redirect your focus, to have clarity on the path that you want to move forward, whether it's, in your divorce, starting your new business, whatever it is. And so it's really important that we all learn how to discern the two, and also to listen to our intuition, because our intuition will not steer us wrong. So it's easier said than done if we're talking about trauma and intuition and figuring out which one you're dealing with. But kind of the golden rule that I go by is I really stop. My friend Erica, she always says, listen to your body. So that's really important. You want to stop and you want to listen to the cues that your body is giving you, whether that's just a feeling or it could physically manifest itself. There are times when I get in situations and I'm either stressed out or have some anxiety, and I actually break out kind of in like a red rash. And so that's how I know that it's some kind of stress. But you want to listen to your body so that you can ask why you're reacting that way. Why do you feel that way? Why are you having this physical response? Is it, triggering some kind of trauma, or do you intuitively know that something is wrong or you need to be doing something? So the way to discern the difference is, how does it feel in your body? And the way that I know if it's trauma versus intuition is, does it give me anxiety? Does it feel bad? And so you can have intuition where you feel like something is off, you feel like something is wrong. But it's not, intuition is not going to give you anxiety. It is going to give you clarity. So if you have anxiety about a situation surrounding a thought that you have, then that is more than likely going to be your trauma speaking. And so how can we combat this? We've gone through, we've discerned this is trauma, this is not intuition, or we're still having some fogginess around that discernment, and we need to take a step back to decide, is this trauma, is this intuition? And so in that situation, what I've started doing is breath work. And I know it sounds kind of woo and out there, but really what breath work is just being really intentional and paying attention to your breathing. You're just intentionally changing your breathing pattern. And how this helps is it's really going to give you that space to kind of step back and increase your clarity. It's going to help you kind of purge some of those emotions that you have in the moment. And it's going to reduce that stress so that you can make better, more well-informed decisions. So there's a lot of benefits for doing it. It doesn't take a whole lot of time. I am one of those people that would love to be able to meditate, and maybe one day I'll be good at it, but I cannot turn my mind off. And so it's very difficult for me to sit and meditate for any length of time unless I'm doing some kind of like guided meditation. So I found that breath work is both very efficient time-wise because it doesn't take a great deal of time, but it's also a quick way to help me stop that really acute reaction, that acute stress. I can stop it in the moment. And so it's simple. You can just get comfortable, just sit in a place where you can, close your eyes. You don't have noise, light, whatever it is that distracts you. Just get in a comfortable position in a quiet place that's conducive for doing this. And then you're just going to breathe slowly. You breathe in your nose for a couple seconds, and then a few more seconds than that, you just very slowly exhale. And when you're doing that, you're having to be intentional about your breathing. So it takes your mind out of this struggle that you're having, and it helps you to kind of refocus your attention simply on just breathing. And when you do that repeatedly, you just do it for as long as it takes to kind of calm you down, to help you get centered so that we can have clarity. But in my experience, when I do that, it really takes me out of that moment and helps me be more present in the moment and more attuned to how I'm actually feeling. And that way I'm not being reactive. I am being able to follow my intuition and set myself in the right direction. So, that really helps cut down on stress, anxiety. If you keep going, it's not only bad on you mentally, it can be bad on you physically if you keep going in this anxious, stressed out state. So this is a quick and easy way to help you refocus, become present, and make decisions. So it is, I didn't say this at the beginning, but it is mental well-being, mental health month, and it's kind of coming to a close. So just make sure that you're taking time for you. Your business is better for it, your family's better for it, and even more importantly, you're going to be better for it. And as always, thank you for joining me today. I love these topics. This is my favorite thing to talk to you guys about. And we will be back. Laura will be back here next week talking family law on Tuesday at 11:30 Central Time. So thanks again for joining me. And I hope you guys have a great stress-free week and enjoy the holiday weekend.